never mind. I'm just going to say an officer was involved in a crash. All right, looks like we're taking the 110 south. Jeff, that one was for you. 110 south. Or the 2? Oh, we're taking the 2. We're taking the 2. Just kind of pull up here. He's going to swing around, and he's going to come to us. Thank you, man. Oh, my gosh. Yes. Stolen vehicle. Definitely stolen vehicle. There's no doubt about that. They've got good taste, too. These are very nice vehicles. Woo! Man, they're using every little bit of that 6-liter, I'm telling you. Sorry, I'm pushing buttons. Out of Carson, Nevada. Hope they stopped and got fuel somewhere. Woo! Changing lanes. Changing your mind. Yeah, it was. CBS has got it on the air. What about us? Woo! Little bit of bump. Whoa! Did he hit him? No, he didn't. Looks like we're getting off the freeway. Maybe, yeah, we're using the emergency lane. Yep. No, we're not. But he definitely blocked that CHP officer. Thank you. I was listening to the scanner, Chris. I wasn't trying to be flippant. But I could have been wrong. Could have been something else, you know? Oh, Sherry. No. You know. Hey, we're on the web. Hey, so if you guys were listening to me singing Sherry and what was that, Journey? Anyways, let's talk about what we're actually looking at right there. That's a big old GMC stolen out of Carson, Nevada, made its way down the 5 freeway. Him and a buddy, there was 2 vehicles. The other one, actually, there was an accident that happened on the southbound 5 at the 170 involving both of these vehicles. And then that other vehicle kind of took the 170 south while this one took the 5, and now we're on the 2 north. But, got to say, the other one came to an end. Sherman Way and Satakoy, that guy in custody. If this driver's listening, your buddy's already been taken into custody. This one continues to be going along here. Look at these numbers. We're hitting triple digits. Copy all. 5. Looks like we're going to be picking up the 210 freeway. We're going to be heading into Pasadena. Pursuit going on out here, and we just made our way up into the Eagle Rock area. You can take a look at that. That big old pickup truck actually stolen out of Carson, Nevada. Now, those speeds and those that swerving that we're seeing right there, not what we would definitely want to see. California Highway Patrol, they're involved in this chase. Now, I know Roxy is down there, and I got to get you guys all caught up. This one's still going, but there was another vehicle, apparently with some sort of tandem theft that was going on out in the Carson, Nevada area. They were coming down the 5 freeway. That's where California Highway Patrol picked it up, and there was an accident. Officer involved crash. But take a look at that rear tire. I am thinking to myself that rear tire right there might be running a little low. This thing might be coming to an end. And, of course, at these high speeds and that low tire, especially in the rear, that driver might not be knowing what's going on right now and very concerned about that as well. Take a look at that, though, passing around those cars. Now, back to the other crash that happened in the North Hollywood area. That was on the southbound 5 right at the 170. It was an officer-involved crash. Hopefully everybody's okay. We were continuing on listening to that other vehicle, took the 170, got off at North Hollywood, kind of came to an end near Sherman Way and Satakoy. That driver in custody. This vehicle continued on the 5 freeway, picked up the 2, we took the 2 north, and now we're on the 210 heading down towards Pasadena. That vehicle moving along. That's a big GMC vehicle, Chevy pickup truck. Now, I'm not saying I know exactly the motor in there, but just by the way this thing is moving along, that's probably going to be that big 6-liter that's pushing that truck, and it's keeping up those high speeds. California Highway Patrol right behind it. I'm concerned about that rear tire back there, and I'm also concerned about anybody else that may be on the roads near it. But this pursuit continuing, making our way out towards the Pasadena area. And again, oh, wait a minute, we're still on the 134. So anyways, keeping an eye on it. Oh, guys and gals, I got this thing totally turned around. I thought we made our way onto the 210. We're actually on the 134, making our way back into the Glendale area, basically going back to where this thing started. Anyhow, we're going to keep an eye on it. Roxia, what you got to know? Oh. Yes. Oof. You know what, the entire time we've had eyes on this vehicle, it has been driving this type of erratic. Made a big loop right there. Now we're back on the southbound 5. We went through the Glendale area, came back to that 5, and now we're back on that southbound 5. Not sure if maybe he took the, whoa! Oh my goodness. And you know, it is a big pickup truck. It is a newer pickup truck, so you know these vehicles have that automatic stability in there. But you know what, when you push it to those type of limits, you know, everything has a limit. And of course, that driver might make a wrong decision or a poor decision, and even that truck, being as new and as solid as it is, might still cause a crash. You can see that vehicle still moving along, using every lane right there. Comes close to so many other vehicles, and that's concerning to me as well. I wonder if that driver's thinking, well, maybe if I bump into somebody or cause some sort of accident, you know, then they'll stop chasing me, and that is very, very concerning. Again, though, those numbers, they're not lying. We've seen that vehicle hit those triple digits. I would venture to say there's probably a limiter on there, a newer vehicle, probably going to top out right about 120. But now we're seeing a little bit, I mean, we're still almost at 100 miles an hour, but you can see right there, like you mentioned, lighter traffic out here. That's a plus-ish, but it also gives that vehicle a lot of room to do all these maneuvers, we're going to call it that right now, and those high speeds, definitely frightening for me. I can't imagine what that officer in that vehicle right behind him is dealing with right now. Definitely, and these higher speeds, that is the most concerning part of all this. Now, there already was one officer in a crash at the 170 and the 5 freeway, and again, hopefully that person is okay, that officer's okay, and whoever that collided with is okay. But look at that. Look, we got traffic going on down there, and this vehicle continuing on in that emergency lane at these high speeds, zipping by all these other cars, and look, he's straddling the line, so he's getting very, very close to all those other vehicles down there. That must be very, very concerning to all those cars. Hopefully there is no contact. We haven't seen anything, but it definitely looks like that vehicle is trying to intimidate other vehicles or maybe push over to one of those other cars. And of course, California Highway Patrol, I'm wondering if they're staying behind them because of all of that. They might be just kind of right now just going to let it go for a little bit, let the helicopter follow it. But you can see that truck still making these high-speed maneuvers, southbound 5 freeway. We're in the Glendale area right now, but we're in the Los Feliz area, but you can tell right now that that vehicle is still moving around at a very, very fast speed and weaving in and out of between these cars. That is the concerning part. This part right here, that's probably as slow as we've seen it go the entire time. Whoa. Oof. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. It could be. It definitely could be. That truck responding to whatever that driver's doing there behind the wheel, and it is swerving around. It is a pickup truck as well. The newer trucks, they try to make that weight distribution a little bit better for the common driver. Look at that, kind of caught in that groove right there. As we're continuing on, I think we just made that transition, or maybe not. Looks like we're right up on the gore point. Looks like we're making that transition over to the 110 freeway. This is going to be very tight, and this is going to be a very sharp turn up there. I'm not sure if that driver aware of the area. I did see those brake lights coming on, but this is a spot again where it gets so tight, and if there's any traffic, there could be a problem. Look at that person. Probably saw that in the rearview mirror. Up there's the California Highway Patrol. Maybe they heard those lights and sirens, but definitely was trying to get out of the way of that big truck barreling down on him. Now we're making that turn. There's a California Highway Patrol helicopter. Makes a really pretty picture. But this vehicle, at least I'm seeing a little bit slower speeds. And, of course, everybody else is probably just like, what is going on? Now we're starting to make that transition over to the 110 South. Downtown Los Angeles, I have a feeling that there's going to be a little bit of traffic coming up. And, you know, Roxy, we both are on that same page. You kind of wonder maybe a little bit more traffic might slow these speeds down a little bit or create a problem where this truck just gets boxed in, which would be okay as long as that driver doesn't try to do bodily harm or try to push his way out of that situation. But it looks like, again, might be wrong because it looks like he's got plenty of room to make any of these moves that he's been making for this entire pursuit. That is the biggest concern whenever we watch these pursuits. I really, truly mean that. I'm always worried about all those folks that this person is just zipping and whizzing by and getting so close to. That could be one of your loved ones out there just making their drive home or going to work or doing their errands, and then you've got this guy just ripping through there. And, you know, again, California Highway Patrol, they're doing what they can. Lights and sirens, warning the public, telling people, hey, basically you need to kind of move over. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, you know, it's the first time I've seen somebody on that far right driving slow, and I'm appreciating it. Well, that truck did definitely slow down a little bit, making our way over to that transition where it does get backed up, and there's a little bit of usually a little bit of confusion. Take a look. I know that it's going to start getting to that stop-and-go traffic. We make our way through the downtown, whoa, through the gore point, making his way over to that off. So now he has that choice. He can get off and basically try to maybe drive through the city area, and/or there's an opportunity to get back onto the 110. I have a feeling this driver does know where they're going or does know this area. Making that turn probably is going to keep him up. I think that was the last chance for the 110, so we're definitely going to be getting off either at Wilshire or 6th Street, and it is definitely going to be 6th Street as we're making that turn. That's going to put us into the city. Ooh, it's going to be tough for us to keep an eye on it. I got to work with Jeff as we try to keep an eye on where this truck is going. Well, I'm just trying to figure out right now I'm concerned about trying to find that vehicle in the downtown area. I'm sure Jeff is going to shout it out when he starts seeing where this thing is. He's still on 6th Street, but realistically right now, the only thing we know is this stolen vehicle came out of the Carson area, California Highway Patrol right behind it, and they were making their way through the freeways. Southbound was the one that they were doing the most, but eventually there was a crash, and that was the most concerning part about all of this, was when that vehicle was involved in a collision. A CHP vehicle was involved in a collision at 170 in the 5 freeway. There were 2 of these cars, and now I don't know if they were both pickup trucks, but one of them actually made it onto the 170, went south, got off Sherman Way, and then basically dumped that vehicle somewhere over by Sherman Way and Satakoy. That person in custody. Now this one still continuing on. The last location I heard was still on 6th Street, but there's a lot of traffic out here trying to work the scanners and try to find this vehicle at the same time. But that big pickup truck now in the downtown Los Angeles area, somewhere between these buildings. Yes. Now, I don't know if they were both pickup trucks. I did hear them describe one as a black pickup truck, and this one is clearly gray. But I don't know the make and model of this second one that was involved in the chase. I understand that it might be a little bit more south of us. If somebody down there has better information, meaning our assignment desk, you can shout it out any time, and we'll just see if we can pick this thing back up. South Grand at the 10. You can pick this thing back up.
So would these two people have
South Grand at the 10.
Would these two people have been in, do they know one another? Is this connected, or is this two separate incidents? What do we know about that?
That type of information, I can't really. I would venture to say that they probably somehow knew each other. South Grand at the 10 is the area that we're looking at right now. I'm trying to see if we can pick up any fast-moving vehicles down there. But this is the general area that we just heard them talking about. That's the 10 freeway. That's Grand. But at the speeds that thing was going, I'm sure he's probably maybe in a little bit farther south if he didn't get back onto the freeway. Again, though, trying to reacquire this chase right now, and any other information that they might be giving us down there, I would appreciate as well.
Yes, I'm going to keep my ears open and see if we can get some information. Oftentimes, obviously, with a breaking news story like this, we're just we're able to only report on what we're seeing and what we're hearing directly from scanners. I'm kind of scanning my eyes down below as well. I know it's tricky, isn't it? You feel like you have a good eye on the vehicle, and then very easily, with just one exit or a couple turns, and you can lose it. I mean, gray's the kind of color that blends, too. There are so many gray and white vehicles on the roads.
He's definitely on the southbound 110 somewhere. We're trying to pick him back up right now. I'm kind of glad that they took a freeway. But right now, I saw a couple of CHP units moving along pretty quickly. But I think these guys are actually behind the curve as well, much like me this afternoon. So we're going to keep an eye and see if we can pick it back up. But definitely moving southbound on the 110 freeway. We're probably going to do that transition as well, but right now just still looking for that actual chase on the southbound 110.
You know, oftentimes one of the questions I know you get asked, because you cover these things a lot, is how often do these suspects get away? And sometimes they do.
Copy. I'm sorry about that, guys. I think we actually even lost the IFB to southbound 10 at Expo. So he's got to be somewhere right here, because this is the general area where we are, and still trying to pick it back up.
Okay, Stu, let me know if you can hear me, and if you don't.
Got off by the Coliseum.
You're watching us cover this stolen pursuit of a truck, and it gets tricky sometimes because you can lose the vehicle in the process of the pursuit, and then you're working with people trying to acquire as much information as possible. So obviously, as you're watching this, you see that we're trying to get our eyes back on this stolen pickup truck, and we're trying to establish connection with Skyfox. Sometimes it can get a little dicey. So we're just working with what we have right now. The stolen pickup, I guess it originated, as Stu was saying, out of Carson. There was another vehicle, also a stolen vehicle, a black pickup truck is what Stu was reporting, which was also involved in some kind of a crash with a CHP vehicle, a CHP unit, and that individual driving the other pickup truck was taken into custody. So we are trying to get our eyes back on this gray pickup truck. Okay, Stu, is that the vehicle right there?
There it is, yeah, and that was a little bit painful. I'm sorry that we lost it there for just a little bit.
It is what it is.
And, you know, now he's continuing on. You know, the drive is a little bit slower. That rear wheel definitely coming apart, and I have a feeling that is it is slowing this guy down. We did notice that earlier on when he was basically swerving around on the freeway. That tire now coming apart. You know, I always say this, and when we see these chases, hopefully that vehicle will give up before the driver does. But sometimes, like with this guy driving, I don't think that losing that tire is is going to create too much of a deterrent for that driver. He's just going to keep pushing that truck, and now it's going to be handicapped as well. That's going to create more problems. It's going to slow him. It's going to create the braking issues and also swerving issues. We definitely see those speeds slowing down as well. I'm going to bring back up the map for you guys so you can keep an eye on it and see where we are. That tire just about coming off. But I also kind of wonder sometimes, woo, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's going to start losing the ability to drive out of the vehicle and running. And, you know, there we go, run. And there's California Highway Patrol right behind him. Let's see who's been a little bit better off. And, of course, that's going to be the officer from California Highway Patrol coming to an end right there, using that less than lethal, at least threatening that suspect down on the ground there, hands out. And, again, coming to what I would venture to say as a peaceful end. Hopefully that officer that was involved in the crash out in the North Hollywood area is going to be okay. But right now, that suspect in custody, and again, that pickup truck losing that rear tire. Not sure how that all happened. And of course, it's under a tree. But I'm not sure how all that happened. But again, that rear tire coming apart is what brought this to an end. That driver probably would have kept going as long as he could.
Was that I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but was that a taser that was used?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely. Well, it was a taser less than lethal. He didn't use it. It was not deployed. It was
okay.
He just had it out as threatening that suspect. Basically, if you get up and run, we're going to use this.
Okay. Can you tell us where we are exactly? What streets are those?
That's going to be Hollandale and Jefferson.
Hollandale and
you
Jefferson.
can see the pickup truck.
Yep.
Apparently, he tried to throw it into park, but it was actually reversed, and it rolled back over here up onto the sidewalk, coming to a stop. Again, it is a miracle that, well, we did have an officer-involved crash with the other pursuit, but this one, it's a miracle that there was nobody injured. Thank goodness for that. California Highway Patrol doing an amazing job keeping up with that guy and keeping the public safe.
LAPD pursues a carjacking suspect in the San Fernando Valley Friday morning, January 3, 2025 at 9 a.m. During the chase, the suspect reached speeds of up to 130 miles per hour. The chase began in the Sherman Oaks area and continued through other neighborhoods in the valley, including Studio City, North Hollywood, Valley Glen, and Sun Valley.
Even on surface streets when we were trying to catch up to him. He was on Moore Park for a little bit in the Valley Village area. Right now, though, it does definitely seem like we're staying on that 170 because he's far over. So it's going to pick up onto the 101, and we might. No, the pursuit started on the 405 freeway, but they were over by Mulholland by the time the actual pursuit started because they were waiting to get other cars behind them. They can't just have one car there to light it, like basically what they say, light them up, turn on the lights and sirens. And if it's a pursuit, this guy is all by, or guy or gal, law enforcement is all by themselves. They always wait to get kind of back up. There's a whole process that goes on. They got the helicopter over it. And so they had to get their ducks in a row. We were trying to get our helicopter in the air, but by the time we got there, he was already on the 101. So I don't really know if that was damage that was done to the car before, if this was, if that whatever that is blowing in that rear window was there when they stole the vehicle or took the vehicle by force. But again, we also know it has Florida plates on it. So there's a lot of questions here, and again, LAPD not letting this go. So they believe that that driver is a dangerous suspect. Look at these high speeds. And I'm not sure if we're on Cahuenga or, yeah, we're on Cahuenga right now, right? And look at that, just making that turn. He did slow it down in time, but we're making our way into the Hollywood area right now. Might get a little bit dicey because we have some buildings to deal with, depends where he goes. But again, these high speeds, running those red lights, getting so close to all these other vehicles that just have no idea what's going on. Very, very dangerous. Look at that, red light, kind of forced to make a turn there. Thank goodness he didn't get any closer to any of those cars. Yep. Northbound Cahuenga. Yeah. Putting his hoodie on. Yeah. Oof. The helicopter following it, they are making calls. They are saying that, this is where he is to the officers on the ground. And that's why I always say, when this comes to an end, it will miraculously, officers will just kind of appear out of nowhere because they are listening. And believe me, law enforcement, they want to do their job, and their job is to keep the public safe and to take bad guys into custody. And this person right here, right now, he's acting very badly. So this is what it's all about. But the concern while this is happening is definitely safety. Hoodie. Yeah. Definitely watching this car just kind of changing lanes out there. I was actually seriously just checking my phone, seeing if I can get any information, any kind of little tidbits that we might not have. Turns out just a lot of people saying, why didn't I tell them that there was a pursuit going on? I'm kind of busy. Anyways, we are watching this car, and again, LAPD in the air, and they are chasing them. And on the ground right now, they've opted out probably because of the high speeds and the dangerous maneuvers. They're going to keep their officers a little bit safer, but again, it's one of those handoffs because law enforcement, their lights and sirens are very helpful. I think there's are we off the one side? I thought we were actually right next to the North Hollywood LAPD. I thought that would have been a little ironic. Made that hard turn right there. I did see that's the first time I saw that rear wheel kind of slide out a little bit. So that was the first time I actually saw that car lose a little control. Now we're making our way clearly on Magnolia. This is going to get into a very busy area out here in the North Hollywood area. Lancashire is going to be up there, Riverside, all the big streets. And again, a lot of traffic out here, even though it's Friday. A lot of people got to get to where they need to be. And they don't know that this guy is just out here running lights and making these dangerous decisions. What did he pick? He did pick Lancashire. So now we're on Lancashire. You asked that question about what these people are thinking. I would venture to say that they really don't have a plan. I would venture to say right now the only thing he's thinking is got to get away. But he doesn't even really know what he's getting away from because there is nobody right behind him. The helicopter is definitely above him, and they're making those calls. They're telling law enforcement on the ground where he is and what direction he's going. And especially in North Hollywood, they were eager. I wouldn't say eager, but they were advised that this was getting into their territory here earlier on. So they know that this is going on, and probably all the other divisions nearby know as well. Right now, though, the helicopter, LAPD, keeping an eye on it. We're going to be getting into the Burbank airspace. I feel Jeff bringing up the helicopter, so I have a feeling that we're going to be staying up a little higher because possibly they have some flights coming in. Hopefully we're going to be able to keep an eye on it, but you never know. It's always a fluid situation up here in Skyfox. keeping an eye on it. We're going to be getting into the Burbank airspace. I feel Jeff bringing up the helicopter, so I have a feeling that we're going to be staying up a little higher because possibly they have some flights coming in. Hopefully we're going to be able to keep an eye on it, but you never know. It's always in Skyfox.
87 miles per hour on a surface street on Lancashire right there in North Hollywood, and we're looking at this driver going on the freeway, off the freeway, back on the freeway. So really unclear where they're going to go. Obviously, we don't know. And for one moment, I think from your vantage point, Stu, we did see the sign of a passenger in the car. As we've mentioned, there could be possibly a woman, a female passenger in the passenger side seat. And so we don't know the state, but clearly the car looks like it's a little damaged, right, from the side and the back. And then you said that the rear wheel seems a little wobbly at this point.
Yeah, definitely some damage on that vehicle, and you know, clear. Oh gosh, that is. Anyways, there's definitely damage on the vehicle. That is not a clean Nissan. I can tell you that. That has been. It has seen it and been there and made its way back. And now it's being. Now it's. Oh, look at. Did you? Oh my goodness. And you know, and that's the thing too. This is a little bit off at a distance, but believe me, that was a pretty close call. I venture to say that driver in that white vehicle. Believe me, they flinched, and I don't blame them. And this is what the problem is. This is what all the issues are with the pursuits. It is so dangerous for the folks on the ground, and of course law enforcement, I've said it in the past, I'll say it again, they actually are concerned about the driver and in this case the passenger's safety as well. And that's the reason why we have all these you know, policies in place where they say, all right, we're not going to chase them, or okay, we are going to chase them, or we're just going to use the helicopter. And in some cases they just let them go. And I say it with a little disdain, but also in that same breath, it is the safer thing to do a lot of times, and that is what it's all about. Is, you know, how I have a feeling this is going to come to an end somewhere in here. It looks like we're doing something. What? Oh, maybe just he wanted to put some more dents in the car. That's what it was. You just wanted to put a couple more dents in the car there. Anyways, but making the turn. Yep, she seems to be in some kind of snuggie. They definitely dressed for the weather. I don't know if the Star. They were probably listening to Star a little bit earlier this morning, but both of them, you know, wearing layered stuff. And again, even that he could have got, you know, could have bumped that the back of that car, making another sharp turn right there.
Backed into that dumpster right there to make that turn. And then
it's just crazy how.
Look at where he's going into. What is this? A parking lot. Parking lot.
No, this is it's a parking lot for an apartment building. I have a feeling they're going to park that vehicle if they haven't already and jump out. We're gonna move Skyfox as quick as we can around over there. Jeff making those moves, but I have a feeling that they're probably out running. I'm going to keep it a little bit wider just in case. But I would venture to say they might actually have known. Up there they are. There they are. There they are. That's what I thought they were going to do. She is definitely checking on whatever's in that back seat. Hopefully it is not. It is other people.
Someone else in there.
Oh my goodness!
But right now they seem unfazed. They don't. There's nobody following them, so they're just casually walking out. They're kind of looking around, but there's no black and whites behind them. So there they go.
Huh?
There they go. And I'm not sure where the guy went. I'm gonna turn up my. Sorry about that. Still got that same cold that everybody has. I'm turning up the scanner just a little bit to see if LAPD is making some calls right now. But I definitely can tell you we're at the corner. You see it. We're at the Runnymede in Lancashire in the apartment building. I was watching her more than I was watching the driver. LAPD more concerned about the driver, I'm sure. But right now, that vehicle parked. And everybody that was in that car now out of it and walking around LAPD. There they go. Oh, I have a feeling. Oh, the driver's being taken into custody there off of Lancashire. We'll move once again, and then she went back for something. Oh my goodness! You can't. You can't forget whatever that was.
It's hard to. Interesting. I don't know what the word is to say.
There's someone running in the back. Oh, those are officers right there trying to go find her.
But just so nonchalantly, just like, oh, I forgot something. Let me go check on that.
After a high-speed chase.
This is bizarre.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. And you know what? Nobody. Oh, look,
there's that other guy.
look.
That was
Oh, my goodness. I feel so bad for those officers. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, I feel bad for them. You know, it's one of those ones.
There
Oh,
they
we got
go.
one. We got one officer behind him. The one.
Okay, keep eyes
But
on
you know
him.
what? I was gonna say, thug life is a tough life. You know. Whoa! Look at this! Look at this!
Oh.
A good Samaritan, perhaps?
Who knows?
Something you don't want to
So-
do, get involved in a chase, but they went into...
I saw his hoodie run into the in-and-out service. So definitely
Service
kind of
shop.
going to be blocked in there. Hopefully this doesn't turn into anything else except for them taking him into custody. But kind of ironic name of the store where you run into to bring the pursuit to an end. But my goodness.
What happened to that female passenger? Do we see her down below?
I can go back there in just a second. I just want to see and make sure that nothing interacts inside the inside of here. And also kind of taking a peek. Maybe there is a back door. It is an alley, so you kind of wonder maybe that this person was able to get out the back. You can see other officers. Basically, they missed the turn. You guys missed the turn, buddy. You missed the turn. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye on it. There he is. He's in custody. Okay. He's in custody. Let's see if officers are still in that apartment building. That was right over here. I did just hear, I think somebody might have been asking also if the female's in custody.
Yes.
But
on the scanners,
but they are definitely want to talk to her, and I have a feeling they know exactly where she's at.
So you did see the driver being taken into custody initially?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so we have two.
Let's see.
That's the driver right there in the gray hoodie.
There he is.
There he is.
Yep. There he is.
And then there was a female passenger in the front seat, and then a passenger in the back seat that just strolled out of the car.
Looked like a younger person in the back seat. I'm not saying a child by any means, but definitely seemed to be a little bit younger than the crowd. And I also heard him saying something about the south side, so maybe they took him into custody here. But wow, you know what? We're just glad that nobody got hurt in this at all. But LAPD, you know, it's a tough job. It is a tough job, and these guys do an amazing job keeping everybody safe and taking bad guys into custody.